Stop press. Stop press. Stop press. Attention all SMEs, sales and marketing professionals. We need to talk about business opportunities arising from the coming 15th general election. It's a necessary evil as there is going to be a disruption in the market situations. Believe me, all interest parties must be prepared for good and bad disruptions in this uncertain times. Truly, it going to affect the sales and marketing in this country wide. Period. Before you dive headlong into this week's newsletter, it is wise to take a quick look at the preview. Shall we? Thanks. In brief, SMEs businesses are anticipating huge orders since in the GE15 exercise requires food and beverage, transportation, tents and printing. Moreover, parties leaders has to refresh themselves before, during and after canvassing for votes on the streets and in the premises. Plus local businesses would be more prosperous as they need to sell the essential products and services such as party flags, logos and banners. With that said, let's dig into the core of this bulletin. Alright. Flash news. Local businesses cashing on GE15. Johor Bahru. Local businesses, from coffee shops to printers, are set to capitalize on the general election, with many already receiving bookings for their services or goods. Johor Indian Business Association President P. Sivakumar said small and medium-sized businesses were looking forward to another upswing in orders for the 15th general election, GE15, after getting a taste of this in the state election in March. During the state election, many businesses profited thanks to the political campaigning activities leading up to polling day. As for GE15, several businesses have already received bankings for services such as food and beverage, transportation, tents and printing even before Parliament was dissolved. The moment the Prime Minister announced the dissolution, deposit payments were made, he said in an interview. The incoming business, he added, was much needed by the SMEs as they had been hit hard by the long period of border closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. With GE15 set to take place soon, businesses are also looking forward to a stable political climate, which will then spur more investments from foreign investors, said Sivakumar. Johor Bahru Small Business Association President Tien Wong said local businesses such as eateries and coffee shops would usually benefit as political candidates and their entourages go down to the ground to hold their ceramah, meet voters and campaign. This is especially true in smaller towns and remote locations. I believe other businesses will thrive too, such as printing services and accommodation providers. I was made to understand that some political parties are seeking printers who can subcontract these to overseas companies to print items such as party flags, logos and banners, as these can be done way ahead of time. Local printing shops will still be the go-to places for last-minute or more urgent printing jobs such as candidate posters and flyers, which are usually carried out after the official announcement of the candidates, said Tay. Malay Chamber of Commerce Malaysia President Abdul Halim Husin said most political parties had their own contractors to supply the necessary products and services. He said he expected local businesses to enjoy the spillover effects from GE15, such as orders for t-shirts, banners and bunting. The increase in business is welcomed, but there is a risk of the SMEs not getting paid on time or at all. This is their main concern. Some political parties tend to practice the hire first, pay later method, which affects small businesses that need the cash flow for their operations to run smoothly, he added. Truly, you don't need a rocket scientist to see why there is going to more business during the 15th elections. Agree or not? To recap on the issue of local businesses benefiting their business as a result of GE15 campaign, here are some things that requiring mentioning again. As said, small and medium-sized businesses will be closing big orders with the launching of the GE15 elections. Orders like F&B and transportation, tents and printing. Plus, parties those involved has to entertain themselves before, during and after canvassing for votes in the streets and in the premises. In reality, local businesses would be more beneficial as they sell the necessary items and services such as party flags, logos and banners. Just to reinforce what is written, we must have proactive ideas after reading the bulletin. My response to this newsletter is to be prepared to exploit any opportunities that open to us from the start to the finish of the GE15 elections. Are you game? You should. As a good and lasting impression, allow me to give a great quote by Jason Fried, the founder of a Chicago-based company that builds web-based productivity tools. He says, "There's nothing wrong with staying small. You can do big things with a small team." Source: extracted and modified from Open Printed Media. P.S. Although this is a lengthy sales and marketing SMEs newsletter, yet we want to congratulate you for watching and reading this bulletin completely. Since you already read this news, therefore, you now deserve more forthcoming weekly free chapters of the book, How to Apply Sales After Sales Tips and Techniques for Greater Selling Success. Plus, we are eager to know which part of this SME sales and marketing property newsletter you learned most. Your feedbacks would help each other be more proficient and professional. Remember, these sharings will continue in YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course in our author, trainer and consultant's email, josephsung@gmail.com, upon request. Alright, thank you. We hope to meet you again next week. Goodbye and best wishes. From me, yours truly, Madam Sophia, the virtual presenter to CTM Joseph, the 5th of November 2022.